Alright, so let's watch the ending here. So, yeah. I guess that was one of the moons of the Earth. Now it's going off by itself. Oh no, the Earth still has two moons rotating around it. Shall awaken. Veiled in the light of eternity, Mother Earth shall be blessed with Cecil, with mercy, and salvation, or salvation. The moon has begun to seek its own light. One man, one girl, and a pizza place. Separated from this world by the stream of time sleeps. Guess that's referring to Golbez. And the lunar whale is going back into the sea from whence it came. Hooray! Where's Palom? Transformation and teleportation. Yes, sir! And I think the text here is automatic. Oh no, where's Palom? That's Palom, right? Yeah. Sure you did, Palom. Blizzard? Come on, Blizzard. It's a terrible spell. Well, unless the enemy's weak to fire, but you want to use Ice 3, or Ice 2, not Ice 1. Come on, smack him on the head. Wham! You perverted little boy! Fire rod? I'm sure it's more like an ice rod. Well, anyway, this was Final Fantasy IV, the first Final Fantasy game released on the Super Nintendo. And they did a really good job with this game. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy III for the NES, although I played that after this game. But, just in terms of, you know, story and stuff like that. Maybe not story, but, you know, it kind of reminds me of the old Final Fantasy games. You have the 4 crystals. It's kind of a medieval type world. It's not really a modern world, except you do have airships and things like that, and tanks with the dwarves there, but yeah, it's kind of set in this kind of time frame. They did that in the next game too, Final Fantasy V, of course. And then they really changed up the series in Final Fantasy VI. I think kind of for the worse. That's just my opinion. I mean, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy VI. But, yeah. But they also introduced the active time bar in this game, so it's not turn-based RPG anymore. So that was a really good innovation for this series. Although you don't see the actual bar in the game. I think unless you play the remakes on the Wii or PlayStation Portable or whatever remakes they did, I think they actually introduced the ATB bar, but yeah, it's nice to have active battle in this game. And it's really nice that they had a whole bunch of characters, but you only really used 5 at a time. You didn't have people to choose from. I mean, it would have been nice, kind of, to have people to choose from. You know, if you could have used Yang at the end instead of Edge, or maybe, I don't know. but your final party was really good anyways. And there were certain points in the game where you had, you only had magic users, or you really only had melee users, and that kind of you had to change your strategy a little bit there. So that was really nice. It kind of kept things interesting. So, yeah, I really think they did a good job on the Super Nintendo Final Fantasies. In terms of just gameplay and length and story and everything, like, Final Fantasy IV especially is just a game you could really pick up at any time. I mean, it's not too long, it's not too short, and it's not really that tedious either. You can get through it without a whole lot of level grinding. Unlike the first games, the NES ones especially, you really had to level grind in those ones. And it took a long time because the battles were so slow. But they really got the pacing good for the battles in these games. Starting with Final Fantasy IV, of course. And, unlike the later ones, like especially, even starting with Final Fantasy VII, and especially the newer ones, like 12 and 13, they're just so long that, you finish playing it, you don't want to touch it for at least 5 or 10 years again. But this one, you wait a few months or a year or so, you can play it again and it'll still be interesting and fresh. And also because, you can use different strategies and things like that. Whereas the newer ones, I mean, you really have to kind of limit yourself. If you want to use certain strategies, like Final Fantasy VII, if you want to, have people that are geared toward magic and people that are geared towards attacking, you really have to do that artificially. It doesn't happen naturally like it does in this game, and probably Final Fantasy V was the last one to do that, although if you grind up enough, I mean, you really have to spend a lot of time. But in Final Fantasy V, you can have characters that are good at pretty much everything, but although you only have a few abilities to spend, so it's give and take with that game. But anyway, that's for Final Fantasy V. This is Final Fantasy IV. The story, I mean, I really don't care about stories in games, but, it's interesting enough, keeps your attention. Some people just fawn over the stories in this game, I really don't care. Just as long as, it's not like Final Fantasy X where there's a cutscene every 2 seconds. Half that game is cutscenes, and you can't skip them. Oh look, it's Kain, he has blonde hair. Yeah, the story's paced really well. And yeah, this is just a good 20 or so hour game. Just like pretty much any other RPG on the Super Nintendo. I guess most other RPGs made by Square on the Super Nintendo are about 20 hours or so. 20-25 hours. And then there's Earthbound, and the ones by Enix, like Terranigma. Those are action RPGs, but yeah, I just like Super Nintendo games, how, they're not too long, they're not too short, they're not too complicated, they're not too easy. It's just a really good mix, it's a really good medium. I don't think games these days are really doing that very well. They're either 100 hours long and, extremely complicated, or else they only take a few hours and they're really straightforward. Although you could say Final Fantasy XIII is really straightforward. But yeah, that's a really, really long game. A lot of story to get through. Though it's nice you can skip it if you want to. And so we have a happy ending here. Hooray. Oh no, the moon's coming right at us! And we're back with Cecil and Rosa. What's wrong, Cecil? I missed my brother. Oh. I'm just imagining things. Probably. Hey, it's Sid.
What the? Are the two of you still here? Get downstairs!
Sorry about that, Sid. Hey, you can't talk to us. I'm the king now. So yeah, Your Majesty. No, just call me Rosa. I'm queen, but I still want to be close to the dirty scum that I rule.
Hurry up already!
I like how Sid keeps breaking the fourth wall and waving to you. Hi, I'm right here. Hurry along, Cecil. Cecil, you're just like a woman. You know, Rose is all ready and you're like just dawdling about in your room getting ready. Who wears the pants in your family, Cecil? Hey, it's Edge. Come on, Edge, no hitting on Rosa. Yeah, Sid'll put you in your place. And it's Giat and Luca, right? Luca from the Water Palace. Come on, Luca. Quit hitting on Cecil. And it's Sir Yang. Where's Sheila? Or whatever your wife's name is. Her meat cleaver would have helped in the final battle, but whatever. And, that was kind of a swing and a miss there for him. And it's Ponytail Ninja Dude. Not ninja. Magician, I guess. Gilbert, boo. Oh, I stubbed my toe on the stairs. Rydia! Aw, Edge. Trying to act cool in front of Rydia. Pfft, Edge, you suck. And now we shall close our reenacting of the ending of Star Wars. Huzzah! Now let's watch the credits roll. Maybe I should have talked about what I thought about Final Fantasy IV during this time. Oops, my mistake. I won't make that mistake with 5 and 6. Probably. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on... Well, point is, you can't fool me again. Good job on the battle program. Really good, but... I don't know, sometimes it seemed like you had your turn, but the enemy just got in a whole bunch of hits in front of you. It's kind of like the enemies ignored the active time there, and they just got their turn over and over and over and over again, especially at the end. But whatever. Well, the music was pretty good in this game too, I guess. They did a good job on the music in the Mr. Spankle. But they did a good job of music on these games. Final Fantasy VI, they did a really good job. Pretty amazing for a Super Nintendo game. Anus P. But yeah, this game was 1991, so I mean that was just really when Super Nintendo was kicking off. So I don't think they had, you know, full grasp of what the Super Nintendo could do, but for that time, this is really, really a top-of-the-line game. Yeah, good for you, J2E. Toma the 13th. That was from Chrono Trigger, right? No, I've never heard of J2E. I didn't see their name at the start of the game. And they have 2 websites. I don't know if they still work. Alright, presented by Square. Good job, Squaresoft. Seemed like for, 10 years or so, they just pumped out good game after good game every week. But now, not so much. Well, Final Fantasy 13 was pretty good, I guess, but... Well, it's more like average in terms of the series, but... For games these days, it was pretty good. But I don't know why they're stuck with Final Fantasy 13. I don't know why they're so obsessed with it. It's not that great. I mean, get to 15 already, for God's sake. Whatever. The end. The end. So that's all for Let's Play Final Fantasy IV. Hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for, well, the rest of Final Fantasy V and 6, and then after that, I don't know. Anyway, this is DC6, and goodbye.